Information and knowledge are different, and transforming information to knowledge is a really interesting process. I developed the IMKT framework to explain it. The IMKT framework is divided into two halves, which I call phases. Phase 1 is information management, and Phase 2 is knowledge transfer. Each phase has 3 stages, and it takes time to progress from one stage to the next. The mini cycles represent the ecological systems that support progression. The 4 ecological systems are based on Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory and include microsystem, individual and interpersonal factors; mesosystem, technology factors; exosystem, professional and organizational factors; and macrosystem, interorganizational and socio-political factors. Let's look at the first stage in the information management phase, information discovery. We discover information by seeing, hearing, reading, reflecting, and discussing. Sometimes we seek information, while at other times it seems to arrive by chance. Information is discovered in formal and informal ways. Informal information discovery includes casual hallway conversations with a colleague or coming across an interesting article through a friend. This is an example of the microsystem, where individual and interpersonal factors are at play and support information discovery. Formal information discovery includes supervision, attending a conference, or researching professional literature. This is an example of the exosystem, professional and organization factors, supporting information discovery. Health consumers are another source of information for health professionals, and discovering information this way can be done formally or informally. The second stage in the information management phase is information organization. At this stage, we take steps to organize information by codifying or categorizing it. We do this mentally or using technology or filing systems. Doing this means that the information that is well organized can be easily retrieved for future use and shared with others. The university library is an example of an exosystem, which is an organizational factor. It's designed to organize information. If you decided to make a physical filing system to organize your readings to make them easier to find later, that would be an example of engaging a microsystem approach. The third stage in the information management phase is information processing. Information processing occurs when you start to make sense of information and the pieces of the puzzle start to come together. Usually this process is easiest when you can frame new information in the context of previous life experiences. Having a discussion with your tutorial group about new information is an example of utilizing a microsystem approach to information processing. The tutorial itself is an example of how the exosystem, or the organizational factors, support information processing. Using technology to participate in a virtual community of practice is an example of how the mesosystem supports information processing. In the IMKT framework, the transition point between information management and knowledge transfer is described as the information-knowledge transformation space. This phrase was developed by Boiseau and colleagues in 2007. This space delineates the point where you have started to think about how new information fits your context. This phase sees information transformed to knowledge within you. This quote really fits this stage. Information is converted to knowledge once it is processed in the mind of individuals. We have now reached the knowledge transfer phase, and the first stage, knowledge creation. During this stage, you have knowledge within yourself and you can start to apply it to your context. This is the time when you start to get those aha moments. Through this stage, information becomes consolidated and internalized and affects your beliefs and actions. All levels of the ecological systems framework support the knowledge creation stage. At the microsystem, you notice improved confidence in your knowledge and an ability to participate in more complex discussions. At the exosystem, you start to see where the knowledge fits within the context of other courses or other learning. At the macrosystem, you start to see links between the knowledge you're developing and your future career. Digital technologies support knowledge creation within the mesosystem. The first two stages of the knowledge transfer phase are closely linked. In stage 2, knowledge translation, you start to experience new insights as information has now been understood and transformed to knowledge for use in a specific context. You know you are at this stage when you change or confirm your attitudes or behaviors. Over time, your knowledge becomes tacit and incorporated into daily routines. Tacit knowledge tends not to be found in manuals, books, databases, or files. It's generated through the sum of past experiences and through encounters with different people. Tacit knowledge is also called clinical judgment or practical wisdom. It profoundly influences your decision-making. It's difficult to explain one's tacit knowledge to others without careful reflection. This is one of the key reasons you're asked to reflect on your learning and experiences regularly during your degree. All levels of the ecological systems model support the knowledge translation stage. The third stage in the knowledge transfer phase is knowledge dissemination, where knowledge is shared with others. It's important to note that your tacit knowledge needs to be transformed to explicit information to be shared with others. This is shown in the framework as the knowledge information space, an expansion of the previous concept described by Boiseau et al. In 2007. As each person discovers new information, they progress through the IMKT framework. They process the information and transform it to knowledge for their own context. So any individual is likely to be working through the IMKT framework on a range of topics at one time, using a range of ecological systems to support the process. All levels of the ecological systems model support the knowledge dissemination stage. Digital tools such as podcasting and curation tools play an important role in knowledge dissemination and the transformation of knowledge back to information for others to discover through the mesosystem. University lectures are an example of knowledge dissemination in the exosystem. It's important to note that it's possible to disseminate information without going through the process of information knowledge transformation. i.e., you could be just presenting somebody else's information, but you've never actually contextualized it for yourself. This highlights why it can be really uncomfortable presenting information without having an opportunity to organize the information, process it, or even contextualize it. This may be one of the reasons why public speaking can be very uncomfortable without adequate preparation. So in summary, information and knowledge are not the same thing. Information is explicit and knowledge is tacit. The IMKT framework depicts two clear phases: information management and knowledge transfer, and each phase has 3 stages. It takes time to progress from one stage to the next, and everyone takes a different amount of time. Progression through the stages of information management and knowledge transfer is supported at 4 levels: microsystem, the individual and interpersonal level; mesosystem, using technology; the exosystem, professional and organization factors; and the macrosystem, interorganizational and socio-political factors. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation about the IMKT framework. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to ask me.